Hello, hello. Chaim will be here officially in any moment, and then we're going to learn together the speech that the Rebbe gave in this week's Parsha called TLPS in 1992. But before then, being that we're gonna learn for 45 minutes, and it's already gonna be, I think, dark outside when we finish. Let's do today's portion, fourth portion, since today is Wednesday, of TLPS. It's not long, and I'm gonna fly through it. Vayal misham be'er shava. He went up from there to Be'er Sheva. Vayera elav Adonai ba'layla hahu. Vayemer Anochi Elihei Abraham avicha al tira ki itcha Anochi uberachticha b'hir beisi esizaracha b'havor Abraham avdi. Hashem appeared to him that night and said, I am the God of your father Abraham. Fear not, for I am with you. I will bless you and increase your offspring because of Abraham my servant. Next verse. Vayiven sham Mizbeach vayikra b'shem Adonai bayet sham ahaloi vayichru sham avdei Yitzchak be'er. You're listening?
Oh, yeah.
I'm only 3 psukim in. I mean, you don't have to, but like in case you didn't do it yet and you want to. Yeah. He built an altar there and he invoked Hashem by name, and he pitched his tent there, and Isaac's servants dug a well over there. Now, next verse, 26. Again, now we're in chapter 26, verse 26 in Genesis. Avimelech went to him from Gerar with a group of his friends, and Pichol, the general of his legion. Rashi has a comment on this. Right, Avimelech came with a group of his friends. This is to be understood kitargumai, the way that Targum Onkelos translates it. The Siyas Merachamahi, which means Siyas Me'ayhavav, an assemblage from among those who loved him. The Yesh Paisrin Meireyehu, there are those who interpret Meireyehu as if mem misoid hateva. The mem, the letter mem, is an essential part of the word, not a prefix. In other words, not some of the people who loved him were his assembly, but that it's actually part of the word. Mireyim, like we see in another place, 30 friends. That the mem is part of the word friends. The Shimshon, right? That's speaking over there in a passage about Shimshon. Why would they specifically learn it that way, that the mem is a part of the word? So that the word v'achuzas should be connected to it. V'achuzas mirehim. Aval ein derech eretz, but it's not proper conduct. L'davar al malchus kain, to speak in this way about royalty, right? And after all, Avimelech was a king. Siyas oyavav, to say a group of his friends. Shem kain, because if this is so, kol siyas oyavav haylechimai. It says that he brought his entire group of friends with him. And that would look like he had only one group of friends, which obviously a person of this influence, of this caliber, of this royalty, that looks pretty demeaning. So lachin, therefore, yesh lapasra, should be interpreted kalashon arishan according to the first version, which is an assemblage from among those who loved him. Mirayim, not Meireyehu, right? Not like Mirayim, which means friends by itself. Va'al tisman, don't wonder. Al taf shel achuzas, v'aval pishein netevas mucha, about the taf in the word achuzas, even though it's not a construct. Yesh tuk masa b'mikra, because there are other terms like this in the mikra, in the scripture. For example, Ezras mitzar, aided from distress, ushchuras v'leviyayin, drunk, not from wine. Fine. Another comment of Rashi, achuzas, which means group, l'shen kavutza v'aguda, means an assemblage and a group. Shenechas and yachad, they are held together. We only have one other comment, actually, let's see. Now, if you recall, Avimelech told Yitzchak, get out of here. Actually, maybe he said it in a nice way, but he basically sent Yitzchak away and said that people are getting very jealous of you because of your success, and it's just not good for you to stick around here. So now that they're coming after him, Yitzchak says, Isaac said to him, why have you come to me when you hate me and you drove me away from here? Okay, Chaim's calling me, probably to come inside. Okay, so Chaim is going to ring the bell in about 2 minutes, and we're going to start learning. I actually don't have the book unless he brought two. I don't have what it is that we're going to learn together. So I'm going to pull it up on my computer. Hopefully that shouldn't take long. I don't think that will take long. Okay, but let's finish. Baruch Hashem, we have time to finish. And they said, we have indeed seen that Hashem has been with you. Did I read this inside with Hashem's, with the holy language? Lashon Kodesh? Let's do it. So he said, Yitzchak said, why did you come to me if you clearly hate me? Yeah, I did read it before. They said, we have indeed seen that Hashem has been with you. So we said, let the oath between ourselves now be between us and you, and let us make a covenant with you. Ra'inu, says Rashi, we have indeed seen, right? This is Avimelech and his assembly's reply to Yitzchak. Ra'iv avicha, we saw it in your father. Ra'inu vacham, we have seen it in you. Tehina Allah b'neseinu v'gaymer, let the oath between ourselves now be between us. Ha'ala asher b'neseinu, the oath which has been between us, mi mei avicha, from the days of your father, because they made an oath together with Avraham. Tigam ata should also be now b'neinu v'einacha, between us and you. Which is interesting because Avraham swore to them, the oath that they made was, Avram did it on behalf of his future generations. Now we see even just one generation later, they're already coming to Yitzchak and saying, we want you to make this oath, take this oath as well. Final verse in today's Chumash, Im tasei imanu ra'a kasher lo'ina aganucha, kasher asinu imcha, rak toiv v'nishalichacha b'shalim, ata beruch Adonai. What is this? What's the subject matter of this oath? If you do evil with us, just as we have not molested you, and just as we have done with you only good and sent you away in peace, now you, oh blessed of Hashem. In other words, it's in very shorthand, this verse, what they're telling him about what the subject, what the content of the oath is, but it's the oath that they made before with their father. It says Rashi, Lo neganucha, we have not molested you, is the translation over here, meaning we haven't touched you, we haven't harmed you. When we said to you, Leich me'imanu, go away from us, we didn't do anything to you, we just said, leave. And ata, right, it says ata twice in this pasuk, but it's actually two different words. One's with an aleph, one's with an ayin. Ata with an aleph means you, ata with an ayin means now. So, ata, you, gamata, you also. Ata, now, aseilanu, do to us, Kamoikain, likewise, just like your father did. Amazing. Now, I hear the door. That might even be Chaim. I'm going to start getting this ready on the computer for us to learn this powerful stuff. That looks like it's him at the front door, yeah. You hear the bell? Can you buzz him in?
Yeah. I'm in.
Okay. My little shampoo here for the mikvah. Oh, he got locked out by the second door. Can you push it again? We're already live. We're already live.
Already live. It's exciting.
Assalamu alaikum.
Shalom.
Thanks for coming.
Ready to rock?
Yeah, I'm just pulling it up on my computer.
Amazing.
Oh yeah? Look at that. We got two Sfarim in the house. Baruch Hashem. Amazing this. Okay. Right there. You could park it right there. Actually, maybe put it here next to the shelf so she could still sit on the couch. Okay. Whatever you'd like. Yeah. Can I offer you a tea or some water? Anything?
Tea.
Want a tea?
No sugar.
Okay. Well, just that box has all the selections. That one over there. Yeah, the car.
Where are the hot cups?
In the
Oh, here.
in the cabinet, yeah. Yeah, 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 yo.
It's actually two, so you can pick which one.
Hey, yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. Did you pick? There's a bunch of different options in there.
Yeah.
Turn on this light. What's behind us? Let's rock and roll. You rushing?
Nothing, I'm biking. I have a Forza for biking at 15.
What?
I have a Forza for biking.
Nice.
City bikes.
I'm a fan.
Do you go? Are you an Indian? You go?
Yeah, I would love to go. That's awesome. Next time, make sure you invite me.
Come today if you want.
I could. Just there's too many things I need to
You have a account on the bike thing? Do you have your own bike or?
I don't. What do you mean by speed? But you're saying
No,
regular?
the city bikes you can pay $5 a month.
Oh, city bikes. Yeah, I don't monthly, but I
Think if you get an account,
actually was once charged like unlawfully by them.
because you don't have an account. If you have an
No,
account,
I'm saying they once like charged me. I didn't even take out the bike, but I scanned it,
call them.
and then they charged me a lot of money, and I was
Call
like, I don't even like. They told me a day later, like the bike's still out. I'm like, the bike isn't anywhere. The bike didn't even click out. You know?
You call them?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time.
You got it off?
Nope. I just don't use the account anymore. I'm like, I'm not, whatever. I don't have
I
time.
called yesterday. I got like a big charge, but I got it all off. So
I don't have time for that.
there's two sikhs. It looks like. Is in Melee, choose which one is more.
This looks like our Galil is our sponsor.
You sponsor an episode.
Yeah, you could. I mean,
Stop.
this is yours, right?
I think so.
What's next for you here?
Which one's a better? You see both of them?
No. Did you finish last week?
I did. You?
Let's do the one. Sequence Leil Gimel Chavches Macheshvan Leil Hey. Chedesh Kislev Yom Shabbos Kedesh Beis Kislev Parshas Kodesh. Oh, since this Beis Kislev, it's reminding me. Yesterday, there was a footnote in the Hayom Yom that it had something to do Chav Hey Cheshvan. Something to do with Hey Teves. There was a certain decision that was upheld.
Yeah, something.
Oh yeah, it's with KTV.
No, I know. I'm trying to. It's funny because I know I read it in the footnote yesterday, and I'm like, why am I not familiar with this? Especially considering how much I love Hey Teves for multiple reasons. Oh, okay. Do you prefer to do a different one?
No, there's two in Beis. I'm saying there's two. There's two sikhs in the Beis. I'm saying. Just. Confused which one is more.
I mean, I just opened up to that one, so that's why I'm thinking let's do it.
Which
Instead
one?
of spending more time figuring it out, let's just knock it. I honestly, to me, it doesn't make a difference if you have a reason to choose either which one. The second one's shorter, so you have more of a chance of finishing the second one. Let's do the first one.
I think there's three.
3?
Yeah, I mean two.
No, it's just 2. What are we talking about? He sent the link. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah,
Awesome. Oh, I'm looking at Aleph. This one. I was looking at Aleph. So which one do you have? How does it start?
the first one.
How does it start?
It's on page 114.
Oh.
Oh, you're okay if, like, you're caught in the video, right?
Yeah, sure.
Right?
It's
Awesome.
not like it, whatever.
Do you want a video also?
Okay.
I could send you this.
Yeah. Oh.
It's not 1080, it's not HD, it's just 720, but it will work. Okay, I'll start.
There you go.
Dever kama pa'amim v'ayis Hashemes shebehem nikraim v'parshei satira. We spoke many times about the names that the parshas of the Torah are called. I mean, sha'af shebepashtus nikbu shemes elo al shem aschalas etc. Even though simply the titles they're given the title based on how the parshas opens. Harikivan shenikbu al pi minhag Yisrael sheTorah, since it was set by the minhag Yisrael, which is Torah. Harihu bevadai b'tachlas hadiyah kachal inyanei Torah. It's very significant what the title of the parsha is. And of the proofs for this, Mishmash al Parshas HaShavua, Parshas Toldos. We see in the name of this week's parsha, Parshas Toldos. You ever saw that clip of that guy, Toldos, who was my Zaydi's favorite parsha? We don't know why, we just know that's what he told us. You don't even...
Really, ever like a...
No, it's some guy making lights on us. It happens to be very funny, but...
Same guy as Lechacha guy? Like...
Yeah, Lacha, same guy. Told us. It's what he told us.
A little corny, fine.
It's like the epitome of Leitzanis, when you take like a seriously like real thing and you turn it into a joke. But I'm guilty for laughing.
Whatever.
Anyway, it says Chalas HaParsha Hi Ve'ela Toldos Yitzchak. The beginning of the parsha, of course, the title is Toldos. The beginning is Ve'ela Toldos Yitzchak. These are the descendants of Yitzchak. Kamayas Chalas HaParsha Shni Avatera or Sheni Avatera. Shni, like the beginning of the second parsha in the whole Torah. Eila Toldos Noach. These are the descendants of Noach. It's very similar. The cave on Shishtei Parshas Maschilos Vayis Tebais, and since both of these parshas open with these words, the Eila Toldos, Harikadela Kreisen al Shem Aschalas, B'Shem She'Abdil B'Hem, in order to be able to call them something that's from the beginning of them, give them a title, but they have to be different.
Right.
So Masim Likras Harishain al Shem Ateva Chi Kreva Laschalas Parsha Toldos, Shniak De Lav Dila Mea Rishena B'Kriyas Shem Shena Ma'ashem Shenitan Karla Rishena Toldos. It should be Yitzchak. Interesting. The Rebbe starts off with this question right away. So we say that the name is very significant, and both the second parsha of the whole Chumash, Parshas Noach, starts with Ve'ela Toldos Noach. This starts with Ve'ela Toldos Yitzchak. So just to differentiate between their titles and giving them titles, we should have said that parsha should be called Toldos, because that's the second word of it, and this parsha should be called Yitzchak. Why is that one Noach and this one's Toldos? And since it was already established, the minhag, as it's printed in other chumashim, b'shem Noach v'sheni b'shem Toldos. Mochach shekrias Hashem Eisi Lai al Shem Ateva Harishena Ayateva Harishena Shem Avdila Isa Mi Parsha Acheres Ela Ba'ivin Shi Hashem B'diok B'Yesus. But there's obviously something very significant and very precise about this, that this is the way it works. V'nisbar Bekam Mekayma Shem Eisi Elu Noach LaParsha Harishena V'Toldos L'Shnia Masimim L'Sechan HaParshes. So it's explained in many places that these names, Noach, for the first parsha that we're talking about over here, and Toldos, which is this week's parsha, are both, of course, in sync with the content of the parsha. Hateichen de'ila Toldos Noach, the content of the second parsha in the whole Torah, Parshas Noach, Huloi Sipur Leidas Bonav Toldos Kevshutei. We're not talking about the Toldos of Noach. We're not talking about the descendants of Noach simply. Shekvar Namar b'Seif Parshas Bereshis V'nich Bakan b'Kefrat b'Teichen Shel Parsha. That's already mentioned at the end of Parshas Bereshis when we're talking about Noach and his family. And we even mention Avram. No, we don't mention Avram yet. That's at the end of Parshas Noach. But the point is, we mention his family there, and then, we mention it again in Parshas Noach, but that's just as a detail to the full story of Noach that there is going to get into. Sipur HaMa'oreh Shel Noach, the events of his life. And the content of this week's Parsha is not telling us about Yitzchak's life. Very important parts of Yitzchak's life are actually just in previous parshas that we already learned, not in this one. But it does tell you about his giving birth to children. Toldos Yitzchak. Right? Wow, so we got already a question answered just from the very beginning of the Sikha. Why is that one Noach and this one's Toldos? Because that one is more about Noach and about the events of his life and less about his children. And this one is less about the events of Yitzchak's personal life, but more about his children being born. Take it away.
1 second. Okay. Did we skip
any Gishmak notes that you wanted to do? Yeah, I feel like unless we need to look, let's try and get through as much as possible, and then we'll come back to it.
It's got lost. So we're trying to focus on the actual word itself. It's not just the fact that it's connected to the parsha, the actual word, that what? First, number one, you have Toldos, and Toldos comes after Noach. What's Pshat? Like that, I guess we'll see soon what we're trying to think. So, Peter, Hashem is Noach with Toldos. Levi Sheikh is a Kirchen, Hinyan, or Parsha, El Shrit Atmon. Sheikh is a Limud, Adam, Bris Adam. Can you tell us all, just look at the word itself, tell us, what's the Adam? Without the Parsha, it's like what? Because the same Shaltikim, Masantiv. Or Noach itself, what do you see? Shem, Adam, Shemir, also say, Sheikh Ludis, and Sias. It's a name of a person, which means it shows him his birth. Let's go Shritoi, Shaz Nikar Shem. Till is tackle, so Till sounds like it's really his maisim, and Noach sounds really like it is his children, in sense, his birth, which is really opposite. We'll see what's going to happen. There's be Zar Hezber. Alpha some is young the Pirish Hashem is also Pirish for partial based on the parsha we said before. Yeah, it's opposite. Fascist.
No,
we said okay. We started the cycle saying that Till is referring to the actual Tillus of Yaakov, which is Yaakov Esav, and Noach is actually talking about not his children, but his life, right? That's the way it's associated with the parsha, but the way it is Kishal Asma, we just have one word.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yes, how
it implies the opposite.
Exactly, yeah. Hashem, which is the name of Shech Lasam Matthias, which is Lizad. That feels which would mean really told us. Which is Shech Lasam David. And Rashi, which is a mikra that Rashi tells means what it tells means. Let's go check it. Tells him Shalzikim Masatevim, which that's Pashup Shat. Okay, tells the exact opposite by tells that watch a fish Shem Shach Masatevim. The word tells itself Shach Masatevim. In the part what you see, Beishin Yizl Shach Leda. Rashi Yakrisa Vorm Pasha. Fine, that's number one. Mikra base. Be a little vayram and actually there is tells Shach Neach. What do you learn from Neach? Before telling us after Neach, what do you learn from these things? Was
this said in Hebrew?
Oh no, no.
So how come it doesn't note that it's a translation?
I think every other one is Yiddish and Hebrew. I think it's every other one.
But usually it writes that it's translated from Yiddish.
It's automatically, it's not. Okay, this itself, was the way it was translated. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a sefer took it and translated. This is the way it was set up. Yeah. Actually, was he? I think so. No.
Doesn't say Voldemort either.
I think it's big one. Base, yeah. Bigger beer. Yeah. Sorry. We get it. Kirchen, maar dan fikken wat ik zeg. Of dat ze. Als een tevin van zeggen, zoals ik in Mouwen in de dag gefeet als bij samen. Je told this. Kirchen bol. Eigenlijk nou ja. Ik kan precious. Niet met time. Ik call het flavor. Ik gewoon al same zoals ik in maar een tevin staan. Zo schals al dan. Zeggen als is een tevin spel eigenlijk dan want de dag. Zeg al weer. Ik ga nu als je daar gezoek met dat. The question is that I think what's the shackles between two things. The idea of Leda, which is before anything happens. How should I tell this? Until this is like must be on a higher level than just being born. That's what I have to say. That's how do you calculate two things, something like that? Okay, so let me change my real master shnucha. What's an effish? Shnucha sagof. She have to came as terms of the way. because Rambam, but Mashiach is Yudam Gashmin Shterech Kadesh, and Neshev Pnuyim Lumud B'Chokma V'Laseis a mitzvah. L'chein I say there Shanei Chedim L'Tolis. Why? Kadesh Yochol this Vided L'Hod. You want to have a Tolis Shan Tevim. Like in Chila Magmatzev the Neich Menuchal. Sarah L'Ish Limar. Check Dimo Neich L'Tolis is there. There's a man. It's not just in time. Have menucha in order to do Torah, but mitzvah Torah to Milo, there has to be actually an actual taken in proceeding, not just in time, but in Milo, in virtue.
It's interesting, like Yash Leimar. Like L'chayra, we can say that the reason Noach comes first. You got a comment over here. Chaim Hamelech from Mendel Groyer.
Oh. Guards.
So, that's interesting that L'chayra, because Noach implies like menucha, that you need that menucha in order to come to the avodah of toldos. In other words, first, like you need to be in like a good place in order to then like do the best things in life, you know. Or like the first thing that comes to mind for me is like you need to first like have yourself together in order to be able to influence other people in a proper fashion. You know, like to guide them. But the Rebbe says, no, Mistaber Yeser Leimer Shakdim Adonai Choltodes Hilerak Bizman Begal Hechel Shavdavar Nagadima Mites Beterakdima B'Mayla. Meaning, so, not that that's not true, but the point is that isn't what we're learning from it. There has to be something deeper and higher that we're learning from it. Yishnair Nekudas Habir V'Zeh. So, the point of clarification in this matter is like this. And then, basically, the Rebbe is going to give us the answer in like in an atomic nutshell, and then we're gonna split the item and bring some explosion. Achiluk shebein Parshas Noach leParshas Toldos hu derech achiluk bein lefnei Matan Torah u'la'achri Matan Torah. The difference between Parshas Noach and Parshas Toldos is similar to the difference between before we received the Torah officially, but yet we know that people were still learning Torah and even fulfilling the Torah like our forefathers, and after receiving the Torah officially. Right? What's the difference? Kayadua, as is known. As we know that the preparation and start of the official receiving of the Torah was through the work of Avraham Avinu, specifically through him giving himself and his household a circumcision. And then afterwards, through the birth of Yitzchak, who was born, as the Medrash says, from a holy drop. Why? Because he was already, Sarah conceived him from Avraham, specifically after Avraham had been circumcised. So it turns out that in Parshas Toldos, Eila Toldos Yitzchak ben Avraham Heledes Yitzchak, the first words of the parsha, Harishan Shekol Mitziyusei v'Toldos La'achrei Achana Ba'aschala D'Matan Torah Maschila Ha'avoda Kshura Imatan Torah. That really from this parsha, from when we're describing Yitzchak, the son of Avraham, that's when we really see an emphasis on preparing in a serious way for Matan Torah. And in the parshas before this one, before Toldos, especially even by Noach, where only at the end of it and at the where it signs off, we learn about Avram being born. Still, that's more an emphasis on Avodah before Matan Torah, which I think means before starting to prepare for Matan Torah. Because even in Parshas Toldos, it's obviously still a hachana to the actual Matan Torah that would happen after we leave Mitzrayim. But it's not. But like but specifically from this parsha, we see like in a much more serious way that this is where we're holding. We're holding now already in the order of sequence of events that would lead up to Matan Torah. And the concept of this in our service of God that we needed to do now after we officially already received the Torah. Noach is speaking about our existence, the way that it was and the way that it even is, the way that we are previous to Torah. The way that we perceive Torah. The Toldos in this week's parsha, this week's parsha is going on and enlightens us in the work that we need to do in actually fulfilling Torah and doing the mitzvahs. That through this, it's specifically through us learning the Torah and fulfilling the mitzvahs that we bring from potential into actuality our true selves, who are actually something that precedes Torah, the way that we precede Torah. Wow, okay, that's definitely an atomic nutshell right there. Ubir ha'inyan.
Yeah. Inyan. Isa, yo. Shay dividing Kadalom, Ted Vishal, anything is about Kadim, what came first, Shay Mary Tasman Israel, that was all Irani Israel, Kate Cogman. Same as we care with Milo. Hanish Muslim Shay Sol, but Dilly from Malastera, Tears speaks all Yidden, sounds like Yidden are the main thing, and Tears only to get Yidden, so it sounds like what is higher, Yidden's higher. Avadish Muslim Shay Sol, type of public Giloi, are rich for it to become revealed. Talius Kimatera, Kisab Tanil, Mosh Machos Dog, Kishib Body, say basic. She always walking in name. She belongs to one of Joachim name I can tell him. Cast the material on the Christians so will have schutz. Listen, but Mrs. Vilis and Chayin Haba, she did a table, most she saw Paul it's like the servants, the old man in the house that it brings out into my love. Sorry, that was chat. Also because she saw last time just main part of main Malvi is what that's in six. Like that's still the truth chat. Okay, so God looking was even without even do with the termites Joachim Noyim Maisim Tevim even without all these Nachem Noi, like the Kimashal, Machal Saddam, even before the kid did anything good or bad, the father has a natural law. Gam Shelam Drachim Noi Masdevim. Other Gam Bari Shelam Drachim Noi Masdevim. Shelam was Gam Seichel. There, it's also not just Avatus. There, you also have Seichel involved. You don't find the intrinsic Avatus. Al Mal Atus Zubi Seichel. Al Mal Atus Zum. The Chayes is supposed to be Sparich. Shelam and to say Sparich. Legal Chach. The Mitzvah is all Asvam Maila Shalahem. Which thing is only Messiah is 2 seconds. Oh. If Hashem just loves us because we're his children, it's all about Hashem. Hashem wants to love because Hashem decided to love us. It's all about Hashem. It's not Hashem. So just it's always outside Hashem. It's not outside us. Well, these actually solve Hashem mitzvahs Shem Ma'ila Shalhem Rochem Noim. Devim Baal Hamel Shvitzad Hatem Yom Chesed Geluyim Rochem Essen Devim Harish Baal Shechem Sad. So when you do mitzvahs, it goes into the esem. I think you also miss that's also that seichel, no? After some of Einich Gilui, Vada Yesheder Gilui Einig Ger esem. Vada esem Valam Shkirsh Gilui Mikem esem. They don't give esem. I think this was a more complicated one.
The Sikha? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But like I'm loving it so far because like I don't think we really have unresolved questions. Like usually it's a whole bunch of everything's unresolved till the end. Like I like how even though it's not fully clarified, the Rebbe like gives the question and gives the answer. We just need to explain it more.
One second. Torah basically makes it begilui. Makes the alat should be begilui. Bracket that even though the etzem is so much greater than gilui, so like why is it having gilui or no gilui wouldn't take away from the etzem or wouldn't add the etzem? So how is it really impacting it? As our etzem Helen came to gilui and etzem. The reason why etzem is gilui is Helen is cause the gilui aren't kalim for it. Like since it's not moved or anything, so it's not doesn't need to be Helen either. So give you a gilui. I don't fully get it, but it kind of contradicts itself.
Why? I think maybe I'm missing something, but I feel like what we're saying is Hashem loves you regardless of you keeping Torah or not. And that shows on his essential love. However, if you want to reveal that essential love, you should be keeping Torah. In other words, like the correct response to the fact that my father loves me because I'm his son is to be a good son. Not to say, oh, let me be a terrible son because I know that my father loves me anyways. The right response to I know that you'll love me regardless is, okay, so I want to do the right thing. I want to do what you like. Whatever. Let's not get carried away with this that's in between these symbols.
Fine.
It's a question for the Mashpim. עצם יש באין עריך גילוי, בוודאי שההדר גילוי.
זה איך אפשר.
Yeah, I mean, the point is that this love exists regardless of Torah and mitzvahs, but Torah and mitzvahs is the correct response to that and is the way to reveal that this love exists. And so too, in the existence of a Jew alone, a soul in a body, Meichichim mima shenemar b'Torah tzaves b'nei Yisrael daber b'nei Yisrael. The way that we know when it comes to Torah and the Jewish people that both existed before the world, that Yisrael existed even before Torah, because in Torah it says to command the Jewish people, speak to the Jewish people. Yisrael kadmu. That's the way we know it. We can also talk about and prove from this something about our soul and body. The commands of the Torah are not relevant to your soul, as it is not enclosed in a body, as it is in heaven, as it is in Gan Eden. But Torah becomes relevant to actually be fulfilled on a practical level with material things in a physical life once you are enclosed inside of a body. And if so, you would think that the body precedes the neshama, and that for it the neshama was created. Wait, why? Why would I think that? I wouldn't think that. I would think that actually shows very nicely that the body was created to house the soul. The Ramesh Shekdima de Yisrael Hilerak Benegel Neshama Atzma Allah Namar Kadesh Yisrael Hashem Reshis Tvoisa El Gam of Iker Benegel Estabshus of a Guf Shal Zen Nemar Tzav Es Bnei Yisrael Davra Bnei Yisrael Vava Plichein Huba Klolos HaMaimer Min Tana Zeliyahu Velemi Bereshis Rabba Ki Bereshis Rabba Yesh Lafar Shekdima de Yisrael Hibeglal Shem Mekayim Teiro Mitzvahs I know Mishatero Mitzvah Lamala Mi Yisrael Mashinkin Betana Zeliyahu with Gershis Maila Sama Atzmi Yisrael Shalamaila Me'atera Shem Reishis Tevoisa Kimai Bikurim Shekoidmim Letruma Ela Shamaila Zoi Higam Ikar Benegel Islam Shusan Shama Bekuf Kanalva in Kan Mokim. Since the commands of the Torah are only relevant to you when you are enclosed in a body, you would think that the body came first. I don't see that. I would not think that. What's he saying?
The tachlis is the shama be in the body. That's like the tachlis. If the shama would be greater, then it could just stay within the shema. The fact that it gets completed through the guf shows that Torah is only given to the guf.
So Torah and the Jewish people came before the world. Now, what do we mean when we talk about the Jewish people? What do we mean when we talk about the Jew? Do we mean the guf, the body of the Jew, or the soul of the Jew? Seemingly, we're talking about the body of the Jew. Because Torah needs to be, the whole way that we know that the Jew even preceded Torah is because Torah speaks to the Jew. But what does it speak to the Jew about? It speaks to the Jew about his physical life. In other words, that would seem that the guf was created first, and the neshama was placed in the guf so that it could work with the guf. But the tachlis is the guf, not the neshama. That's what it would seem from this. Okay, very good. So 1 second, but the Rebbe obviously doesn't like that, right? Like that would be a... Well, maybe that is Taka. I wouldn't be surprised if that's how it ends. You never know with these things. Oh, yeah, and the explanation is, as is known, that God's essential choosing of the Jew, right, when we call ourselves the chosen nation, it's that our bodies, right, that our body was chosen. It's in the physical body. Our body was chosen to house the Chelik Elikami Bal Mamish. You got to run? Is that what you're looking at the time? Or? I'll just read footnotes in the meantime. We say that it's known that the choosing of God was the body, the physical body. This is explained in chapter 49 of Tanya, where he writes, as we say, that you chose us from all other nations and nationalities and languages. That this is the corporeal body, which appears in its materiality and in its corporeality similar. It seems like the same thing as the bodies of anyone else. And it was the body of a Jew that Hashem said, this should be the body of a Jew. This body should be what houses the neshama, and it's with this body that should be the interface for the neshama to do what it needs to do in this world. And the second footnote here about Gufa Gashmi Shed Bisal. This
is great. You ready? So do part and go backwards, you're saying? That's 20 minutes, no? Right. So should we go? Not maybe should we just go like 20 minutes maybe? Should we leave it to like 30?
He goes biking now, but maybe we have another 20 minutes with Chaim Hamel.
Okay, so it's 5:30 is good. It's very late.
You have lights on these bikes? Because it's going to get dark.
You know what? I think we're just parking. I don't know if it's worth it. Like, I'm a little learning so now. I'm saying I would stop if we do the whole park. I don't know if it's like worth it to like just go for 5 minutes. So get to the...
You can come here and exercise here, not with bikes, but we have weights, do push-ups.
You give me a second. Oh yeah? Where can you go? Saying where can you bike around? I'm saying. Okay, so you have 5 minutes to be ready? So you're like 3-4 minutes, okay? Fine, all right. We'll stop here. Maybe I can come back after. You're here. I don't know if you're available there.
I have a few things that I might be busy with, but call me and maybe.
Fine.
Because it would be great to.
I think Shabbos morning with all you have the force already, or you're.
Usually I have a. Oh, it's actually not so long.
How much more is it?
It's another 3 pages. 2.5. Well, really 1.5. It's really not long.
Okay, find my way back to see where
tomorrow.
Yeah, we're either then or tomorrow.
Okay.
Fine. Okay.
Then we're going to say that there's a Ma'alat Hashem choosing us over like the love that a father has to his son, which you don't choose. That's just innate.
Right. I have to look at it a second. I thought you were heading there. I looked like properly. Yeah. All right. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
So who's here from Twitch? Leave a comment so I can see.
Who's the comments?
I'm trying to.
How
I'd
many
like
views?
to
How
know.
many views?
That I don't know.
It stays after. What is this? Like YouTube Live or it's?
So it goes to YouTube and Facebook and Twitch. For some reason, Twitch isn't saving it. I don't know how that works. Anyone who's here from Twitch who might know, who could educate me, that would be great. But yeah.